welcome to Scrap to Piece. My name is Lydia, also known as Illustrata. It's been a little bit since I've been actually filming a video because it's been an interesting past few months. So the project I have for today, I now have, as you saw in the previous footage, brand new gaming chair. I got it for 60 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, which was a really cool opportunity because the ones that I was finding on Facebook Marketplace was like $80, but it sold too soon. And then another one was like $130, but I wasn't wanting to spend that much because I was like, then I might as well get it from Amazon. This popped up on my Facebook page. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this. And that day was just an absolute terrible day, so this was the only good thing that ended up happening with that day. So I'm still currently in the break from doing the Jar of Ideas projects. Since summer started, it's been really difficult to get videos and film videos and do projects. Just motivation has just not been there, and just trying to push myself, it just hasn't been working. So yeah, still trying to build back my creative drive. So what better way to do that than to paint my new gaming chair? Let's go to the design images that I've sketched up. Alright, so this is the general design. One of my taglines as Illustrata is Chaos of Color. Since it has that white band across it, I feel like that'd be a fun place to put it. So put like some rose details around it and vines on the top. And then the back, kind of the same detail, possibly some black and white stripes. So when I got this chair, it had a lot of details that are like very worn in. This used to be so much more gray, but I used a magic eraser and some CLR and some other cleaning supplies to just tone it down a lot more. I don't know exactly how I'm going to patch this, but we'll see. Other than that, there aren't really many other discolorations or anything. Having this, it's quite nice. So the first part of tackling this chair project was going in with a pencil and detailing out where I wanted all of the designs to be. I know you can't really see the sketch lines on there, but I can assure you they're there. So then my next task was to start outlining where all of the vines would go, and then going in and filling them in with a little bit more detail. Since we're still pretty early into the video, I might as well tell you that a lot of my lines end up not very symmetrical, so some of them are longer or take up more space than the other ones do, but I think it adds some charm. Also, if you notice in some of these clips you can see my mouth moving, it's because one of my roommates came downstairs and we ended up just talking for a while I was filming. Funny enough, most of the time we were talking about nursery rhymes. The Nordic style. That was close.
That was close.
My brush almost landed in my cup. pretty decent as a startup. And I'll add like a flower here, and then like 2 somewhat flowers, I don't know yet. I had actually intended to paint this area to look more like eyes, but it ended up not really fitting the aesthetic that I was going for, so I ended up just making them leaves. Initially, I had been unsure of what to paint on the armrest, but I'm happy with the design that I went with. Then it was on to the daunting task of adding the roses to all of the vines that I had just painted. I had to do multiple layers of the magenta pink in order to build up enough of a layer so you wouldn't be able to see the vines underneath. For these 2 roses, I ended up deciding to just paint it into one giant rose because it almost made it look like nostrils with the 2 small roses right above it. I'm now into the point of painting the details into all of the different roses, but I realized I don't really know how to paint roses. Kind of just look like blobs like that. So I found this tutorial, so I'm gonna try and follow that and see if it looks pretty good. Alright, so following the tutorial that I was looking at, this is how it turned out, and I'm actually pretty happy with it, because you basically bulk up the different layers of the color and then you go in and add details, so I'm going to continue that with the rest of them. So I made the same mistake that I made from back when I did the cakes when I didn't check my footage to see where my hand was placed. So my hand ended up covering most of the footage from painting these roses. I think I would learn my lesson, but I didn't. So it's a bit late, so I'm gonna head to bed. But the last thing that we have to do on this, as far as I'm concerned, is just adding the lettering, which will go right across here. So we'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm gonna go in and add some cell shading to the white areas. If you don't know what cell shading is, it's basically going in, adding a shade to whatever you're painting that makes it look almost more cartoony, almost like it's been animated. So if you've ever played the game Borderlands, that's kind of the style that they have. So I haven't played around with this style very much, but I definitely want to experiment with it more. Another project that I've done with this type of technique was my dresser, where I painted the lower half to look like it was made out of sketch paper, whereas the top looked like cartoon-style drips of paint. So this kind of has a similar feel to that. Since the cushion that came with it also had a distinction between the pink and the white, I wanted to do kind of the same idea with the cell shading on the white portion and then the flowers and vines on the pink area. I just realized I painted the wrong pillow, the wrong pattern. This one doesn't go right there. It goes down there. So, it doesn't really suit it. This is the actual pillow. The stuffing was really loose, so I took it out so I could replace it. Position it right here so you can still see that. Life hack: if you need to get off non-sealed acrylic paint from faux leather, a magic eraser definitely does the trick. Now I'm gonna add fine details to this area. Full disclosure, for the head cushion, I did not have any pink paint pulled out, so I could have added roses, but honestly I was just so ready to be done with the project I just ended up just leaving it at vines, and I think it looks nice. And of course, can't forget the last bit of cell shading. So the stuffing that I ended up using for the small cushion is scraps of thick yarn that I would use as doll hair, and I think it ended up looking really funny because it almost looks like intestines if it was made out of candy. Wait, I just realized the zipper broke off. Great. So unfortunately I can't put on a brand new zipper, so I might just try sewing it closed. So I just proceeded to sew the opening shut with just thick thread. The back portion of the cushion is covered by my chair, so no one's gonna see the terrible stitch job, but I thought it was entertaining. So, that's a wrap. The chair looks wonderful, far better than I expected. Also far easier of a process than I thought it would go, because I was thinking this was going to be a lot longer project, but I ended up finishing this in a matter of a few days. I don't know how well the acrylic paint is going to hold up because I don't have it mixed with any like sealant or anything, so test it to see how well it lasts. Really like it. Very happy with how the project turned out. When I brought this into my room for the first time, it brought me a lot of joy. Just seeing that there's like, it's done. It's finally done. So my next video is probably going to be my trip to Disney, which I went at the end of June. So whenever this one comes up, that will be my next one, and then hopefully I'll be able to get back into Jar of Ideas. I hope you have an artsy, lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!